All right, welcome everybody to this very awesome new show. And it looks like we are good to go. Boy, oh boy, am I truly excited today. I got a wonderful show for you, all new approach to this entire channel. From this point forward, we're just going to take it with you in the driver's seat. I've been in the driver's seat for way too long, now over 100 episodes. It's not that I'm exhausted, it's just that it's time for a change, a much needed change. So thank you so much to those who, so sorry I missed you in the last stream, kind of ended it too abruptly there. I should have checked the chat. I always check for signs of intelligent life after the after the stream is, finished. All right, let me just go ahead and get this out of the way. Welcome to our all new Perfect Soulmates show. It's going to be anything and everything. It's time now to put my viewers in the driver's seat from this point forward. That's right. Your comment may actually end up becoming an entire show. So speak up. This is your chance. And we have a magnificent comment, which I didn't give a heart. I'm going to wait for his response. But you'll see. Now, okay, today's topic is going to be ice queens. If you don't know what an ice queen is, don't worry. I got your back. Be ready to be educated like I had to educate myself with this type of slang. Nothing new, just a different word. I'll be going over good comments made on my channel, but I'll keep your name anonymous just in case, unless you specifically give me permission to use your username. Okay? So that's how it's going to work. If you want me to present your username and promote your channel with your comment, go ahead. Let me know, but make sure you let me know in the comments. So today's topic, ice queens. Let's just go ahead and get right into it. Let's see what is an ice queen. That I was just like, wait a minute. What is this? So I received a comment, anonymous for now, and unless he lets me know otherwise for future comments. All the women I meet are quiet, emotionless ice queens. Isn't that sad? I mean, right off the bat, you don't have to know what an ice queen is, but would you want to be with someone for the rest of your life who's quiet and emotionless? Those are two huge red flags, bigger than the Chinese red flag. I mean, seriously, I wouldn't approach such women. In fact, I wouldn't even call them women. I call them just females. That's very immature. I mean, seriously, emotionless, quiet, that's pretty much one and the same thing. Lots of problems here. It's almost impossible to get them to talk. But they have no problem sleeping with you, even when they know nothing about you, which is disgusting. We'll go over all of this. I think weak, silent females is a bigger problem than silent men. All right, don't worry. I'm going to go over all of this. I'll go over everything. So here's my response. There will always be toxic females out there, even the quiet ones, which nobody should approach no matter how good looking they are. Most common flaw with males. They just go for looks. They don't care about the real value of a woman or a man is the personality, is the passion, the intelligence, the wisdom. Everything inside, for crying out loud. Unfortunately, the superficial and the naive will always go for just looks. Oh, that's a 10 out of 10. Oh my goodness, you're so wrong. A 10 out of 10 is somebody from the inside out, beauty in every which way to you. The covert narcissistic females are a bit more challenging to identify, but still the red flags are there if you pay close attention to them. As I said, would you want to be with somebody who's emotionless and quiet? No. That should be a no-brainer. No insult to the person who gave this comment at all. I appreciate your comment. But we're going to break it down. Trust me when I say that. This makes finding the perfect potential partner easier than you think, once you know how to identify and ignore the few common types of toxic females out there. In my book and video course, I have to say, I go over how a real man and woman behave. I highly recommend my 1-hour video course because this guy sounds frustrated. With today's extremely toxic environment of immature males and females, not just females. All right, So if you've been watching this channel long enough, you know pretty much my approach, but you won't know a few things that I'm going to toss in there. All right, let's go over and see what the heck is an ice queen, for crying out loud. I mean, it's like related to Dairy Queen. What are we talking about? Okay, ice queen. The idiom ice queen is a descriptive phrase used to describe heartless females. Oh my goodness. Ice cold, who show little or no emotion. No, thank you. They are women who appear cold and show little warmth, care, or affection for anyone or anything but themselves in most situations. Sounds like a narcissist. Sounds like somebody who's highly egotistical, selfish. You're not going to make it with somebody like that. I don't care how pretty they are, male or female. Maybe you have an ice king. I mean, seriously. There is very little origin information known regarding the idiomatic phrase ice queen. From its parts, the meaning appears obvious. Ice is extremely cold and hard, and queen is a female in power of herself and others. Well, there's the quote-unquote bossy attitude. I'm not going to say the more vulgar version. And then there's the mature attitude, right? You can lead and delegate, but you can't be bossy and pushy and nagging. These are just traits that will not last forever. You'll end up hating each other, pretty much be divorced without even divorcing, or just divorce, plain and simple, or break up. You can't. This is not the recipe. A recipe has to be perfect in order to work, right? Perfect taste, right? Hence, perfect soulmates. All right, so it is believed that this phrase has been used in the meaning. Okay, let's go ahead and move on, shall we? Because a little bit further into the explanation. Examples. If you take the time to get to know someone you perceive as an ice queen, you may find out they are just protective of their emotions. See, this is very important to go over. That's why I'm putting this in there. Okay, somebody's shy, right? So shy is just being weak, right? You're not ready to dive into a relationship. Now, they portray it in movies all the time, like, oh, she's shy, I was shy. It could work out. But for the most part, look, I was shy as a little kid. I'm talking about 10 years and younger. And even my early teens. I know what shy feels like, but I was way too young to even have a relationship, even up to 13 years old, maybe 14 years old, but you're still young, right? But the shyness kind of goes out the window around 14, at least in my case. I don't know about females, but it should be generally the same. There's always going to be argument. I think it's just on a case-by-case basis. I would never generalize an entire gender to be, oh, you guys are all going to mature at age 14. So being shy is okay. It's okay to be a little nervous, but it's not okay to be completely quiet and just silent beyond belief, like what this person is describing, because it's fear, right? So if that person is fearing a potential relationship, they're not ready. And a lot of things can go wrong if you push it. A lot of things. Because they'll panic. They can accuse you of anything at that point. Be very careful with such people. I always say the quiet people are the most dangerous, and not in a good way. People often misinterpret me as an ice queen because I am shy and quiet. Okay, that might be the case, but grow up, right? I mean, how old are we talking about? I mean, 21 and up, 18 years old. You shouldn't be shy anymore. You should be mature, wise, and intelligent. Unfortunately, that's just not the case. You have even grown adults in their 20s and 30s and 40s, you name it, shy and quiet. No, stay far away. Don't even touch them with the 20-foot pole. Far away from these individuals. They're immature. They're not strong. They need to work on that by themselves before they even think about jumping into a relationship. That's just a fact. You do not want to date somebody who's weak. Silence is weakness. For example, people who don't want to leave a comment or chat or open their mouth offline, they're weak. Stay away from the weak. They're not ready for society. This is how social anxiety happens and all these other supposed disorders. It's just weakness, people. Mental and emotional weakness. They got to work on it. Just like the gym rats who are lifting the same weights and never making any progress. You should probably learn from the experts by that point. The natural ones. Okay, so discussion between mother and daughter, conversation example. Daughter, I wish you would quit being so hard on my mom. Okay. Mother, I am sorry. I am always so stressed out between your brother and work. Okay, I guess the brother's out of the picture. It's just this last one that matters most. The daughter says, I know, but be an ice queen at work, not at home with me. Oh my goodness. You see, this is just like so foreign to me. I'm like, no, I would never even hear the term ice queen. I mean, it's just ridiculous. But whatever, I'm going to go along with it. And once again, no offense to the person who made this comment. I appreciate it because it does open up a different can of worms to discuss. All right, so we're going to go over the problems that I clearly saw with this comment, and I have to break it down since we're discussing ice cold, emotionless, women. Well, I don't call them women, but okay. So all the women I meet are quiet, emotionless ice queens. Here's what I have to say about that. How about don't date ice queens or anyone who's quiet with no positive emotions? How about that? How about avoiding all silent, emotionless ice queen females? Because I don't call them women. They don't deserve to be called women if they're that quiet. Or if they're that arrogant. Or they're just seeking to use you as much as you're probably seeking to use them. Because, I mean, that's pretty much the guys that they're going to want to go out with. To use each other. Temporary satisfaction. Meaningless relationships. Swingers. Friends with benefits. All these relationships that are going nowhere. Actually, they're going straight to the dumpster fire. You know, so they should be very easy to identify. These types of females. A real woman is full of beautiful, powerful, exciting, energetic emotion. I can't stress that enough. Strong women are not shy at all. At all. Okay, we had to really drive that home. So let's go ahead and proceed, shall we? All right. So he says it's impossible, almost impossible to get them to talk. What is this, an interrogation? Loosen up, man. What do you mean to get them to talk? Are you going to waterboard them? So I responded, don't try to get them to talk. And only talk to women who love to talk. I mean, there's so many females and women out there. I separate the category. But let's just say women. Assume they're women. They love to talk. Now, do they like to talk about things you like to talk about? That's another issue, isn't it? What if they like to talk about Britney Spears all day and you're kind of like, yeah, can we have a little bit more intelligent conversation here? So it could get a lot worse than you think. So you're talking about just already panicking because they don't want to talk. Well, then move on. Move on to the next one, right? You're trying way too hard to get women to talk to you when they should be the ones to approach you. I'm a very firm believer that the woman should have the courage to approach an attractive man. And if they don't approach you, guess what? Nobody in that place deserves you. How about that? You have to raise your freaking standards, people. Are you going to sit here and complain, are you going to sit here and complain and be like, oh, she doesn't want to talk with me. Is she the only one in the room? Or in the vicinity, in the environment? Why are you limiting yourself? And if you say almost all of them or all of them, no, you haven't gotten serious about any of them. You're just rushing. And what happens when you rush through the forest? You're going to trip, right? You can't run through a pile of rocks. That's just the world we live in. It's called chaos. Sorry to break it down to you. Get used to it, right? So you're just rushing way too fast. You need to really slow down. So like I said, don't get them to try to talk. That's like forcing someone. So you see an attractive woman and you're like, hey, you will talk to me because I'm talking to you. No, that is, now you're the red flag. And I would advise her to stay way away from you because you're trying to get them to what? Are you trying to get into their pants or are you trying to start an actual relationship? Because real relationships, I hate to say, you're typically not going to find them in a club, maybe not even the library. It's just going to happen if it happens. Now, if you're attracting someone, that's a different spiel. It's a different game, ballpark. Because now you're trying to attract somebody, but you're not desperate. You're not, and if you don't get any, it's just like fishing, right? So you don't force it. You don't go take a bazooka to the lake and just blow all the fish out of the water. or some TNT. No, you cast your line, you wait patiently, calm, and if you don't catch anything, it's not the end of the day. It's not the end of the world. Maybe it's the end of the day. Right? I mean, we're going over basics here, people. Let's go ahead and proceed, shall we? Really cold conversation here. So he goes on to say, but they have no problem sleeping. This is a generalization, though. They have no problem sleeping with you even when they know nothing about you, which is disgusting. Now, hold on a second. Let's squeeze the brakes here. All right? Let's put the brake, the pedal to the metal here. Let's just stop. Sex is not disgusting. There's nothing disgusting about sex. They are merely enjoying temporary, meaningless satisfaction, okay? So, don't participate in it, right? Should be a no-brainer, right? Just, look, is that the type of life you want? Well, you know what? I don't think there's any good women out there. Let me just settle for the swingers and the friends with benefits. And, by the way, I just hate all the women these days. What kind of life is that? That's a life where you're just complaining and not really looking like a sniper. I always bring that example up. You don't want to run out into the world with a machine gun and say, "Brrr, please go out with me. I'm so attractive." No. You got to get that scope ready. You got to dial it in. The windage and everything, the distance. Really take your time. You want to really find somebody that's very accurate to what you're looking for. And yes, it is possible. Maybe you just don't know how. It's like hunting, right? You can't just run out into the forest and say, yeah, it's going to be easy to kill these deer, right? No. You got to have patience. You got to have the whistle with you, that mating call, everything. You got to have the camouflage. You think the deer are stupid? But here we are with the deer in the headlights look. So, yeah, meaningless satisfaction. Let me continue. If you are a foolish, desperate man, then you will continue dating emotionless, non-fulfilling, quiet ice queens that are using you just as much as you are using them. It's your choice to either raise your standards or play the fool. Fool me once, fool me twice. Fool me thrice. I mean, people just don't know when to stop. You're in the wrong field if you're doing this over and over. That was one of my first episodes and article reviews, groundhogging. Go check out that stream. Let us proceed, shall we? Exciting, exciting. So, all right. So the last bit is, I think weak silent females are a bigger problem than silent males. This is referring to my last stream that I just did. So I respond, shy females have always been a problem. Think about it. I mean, it's just commonly accepted. However, in the past, we had brave, intelligent males who mostly knew how to date the right women. For the most part. Not every single marriage was successful in the black and white days. But I guarantee you the men didn't sit there and say, oh, the women just suck today. You know what? They're all garbage. I'm not even going to try. Men back then were so powerful, so strong. I envy them. I truly do. Because I would have fit in perfectly with them. And other males as well. Strong males who don't complain. It's okay to mention this comment. I'm not bashing it. I'm just saying, stop pointing the finger, right? Because this is what the immature MGTOW community does. Men going their own way, supposedly. They point fingers and participate in the destructive gender war. That's what I call it. What you must do is focus 100% on your own life. Don't waste time complaining. Because right here, no, it's the females. It's not the males. No, it's the males. I mean, it's a man's world, but it'd be nothing without a woman, a real woman. So go out there and find the real women. Stop playing games with these immature losers, these silent females, these ice queens, as you label them. You know what they look like. You know how they act. It's very easy to identify them, right? You can't tell me no when you've told me with such passion that they're everywhere. So, do you think you're going to find a beautiful gem or a rose in the desert? Who knows? You might find the rose in the desert, but most likely no, right? It's too hot, too cold in the nighttime. So, think about it. Everything special in this world is going to be scarce. So, you have to be a scavenger, right? Be a scavenger. Really, just don't rush and stop complaining. Raise your standards. So that's precisely actually why I created my 1 hour video course. I wanted something fast and simple for the frustrated. Now, instead of my book, which is 271 pages, it beautifully helps you to understand everything you need to know about true love and how to avoid all kinds of life-wasting toxic people. That's why I created the 1 hour video course. It's beautiful. Every single second of it, there's no time wasted in my video course. It's 10 small videos that you can easily watch with or without a partner. It doesn't matter if you're single, married, in a relationship. It's going to take you to that level, the max level, the level that I live every single day. That's why I'm trying to share it with you. I want you to have the same happy life that I have. But, I'm going to get haters. That's expected because they're jealous and envious. And one day you'll realize that too. Once you become the happiest man on earth, guess what you're going to get? Haters. It's your turn now. But it doesn't matter. Just ignore the haters and focus on those who actually want to improve their lives. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here for the goofballs. I mean, anybody can whine and complain. So, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to the person who actually made this comment. If you want an entire show dedicated to your questions, you know what to do. Comment down below. But let me check the chat just in case, because the last stream I did not check. Let's see if there's any sign of intelligent life out there. That's what I always say. So I've been a little rusty. It's been like 3 weeks, but that's okay. All right, so no comments in the chat. That's perfectly fine. A little bit earlier this time to stream. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this new show here. And remember, from this point onward, I'm trying to put you in the driver's seat. So it might be 1 show a week, 2 shows, 3 shows, depending on how many comments you leave down below. And tell me whether or not you want me to promote your channel, yes or no. And we'll just go from there. So thank you so much for watching. And till next time.